It's a key Mountain West Conference women's basketball matchup tonight as the Air Force Falcons fly into Boise to face the Boise State Broncos. Welcome inside ExtraMile Arena on the campus of Boise State University with my broadcast partner, longtime Boise High School coach and stand-up Boise State star, Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder. Well, Kim, this building has been a house of horrors for the Air Force Academy. They have lost 12 of 13 games on this court. Their only win was by 1 point 2 years ago. And tonight, a Falcon win would position the Air Force to move up in the conference standings.
That's right. This Air Force game, this is huge for them. And the Broncos missed a little bit of an opportunity to climb to second. UNLV had a loss on the road, an unexpected loss. But unfortunately, Boise State had fallen to Fresno State. So this is a really important game for both teams.
The Falcons have won 4 of their last 5, and they are led by the Mountain West Conference's leading scorer, Milani Perry, averaging 17.5 points a game. She actually scored the winning basket in the Air Force's only win here in 2024.
Perry is offensive engine for Air Force. She is so tough. She leads the Mountain West in scoring, and she just moved up to 3rd all-time in points for the Falcons. Even more impressively, in her past 5 games, she's averaging over 22 points per contest. The Broncos are not going to stop Perry's output. They just need to contain her impact.
Boise State had their 9-game winning streak stopped 7 days ago in Fresno, but claimed a tough win at Wyoming on Valentine's Day. And as usual, they look to their senior standout, Tatum Thompson.
Thompson's always going to be at the top of any scouting report for the Broncos, but in her last 3 games, she's found ways outside of just scoring to help her team. She tied a career-high 6 assists against New Mexico, added 4 more at Fresno, all the while keeping up her rebounding and her scoring consistent. The Broncos are going to need another strong effort by Thompson again tonight to attain a victory over the Falcons.
She was preseason Mountain West Player of the Year. Well, Boise State looking to stay in the top 4 of the conference standings and secure a first-round bye in the tournament coming up soon in Las Vegas, while the Air Force looks for success in a building that has been very unkind. We'll tip this one off after we take this time out. And welcome back inside ExtraMile Arena with Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder, set to go in a key Mountain West Conference showdown between the Air Force Academy and the Boise State Broncos, who are being introduced right now before a good crowd here on a snowy Wednesday night in Boise. And it's wash, rinse, and repeat, Kim. The Broncos and head coach Gordy Presnell rolling out their starting lineup, the same 5 now, for the 27th time this season.
It's the signature 5. That's what it is.
4 seniors, Tatum Thompson, Danny Bays, Maya Hansen, and Natalie Pasco. Libby Hutton is the only non-senior. She is a sophomore, and Libby's game has really come around in the last half of this season.
It really has, and Libby had the go-ahead basket, which was the important one for the win at Wyoming. So looking to see Libby, she's now averaging 10 points a game, so her contribution just keeps getting bigger and bigger with each game this year.
Take a look at the starters for the Air Force Academy and their second-year head coach, Stacy McIntyre. 11 seasons coaching at Air Force, 9 as an assistant, and the last 2 as the head coach. She has a record of 30 and 28. They line up this way to the Falcons: Alexis Cortez, a junior from Allen, Texas; Milani Perry, the senior from Tampa; Jana McNabb, the junior from Rapid City; Kelly O'Halloran from Lake Oswego's Lake Ridge High School, a junior; and Emily Adams from Lebanon, Ohio. She is a senior. Our officials tonight: Kenneth Nash, Kimberly Hobbs, and Lorena Almada. And we talk about the Boise State seniors and how Tatum Thompson has sort of upped her game on the rebounding end. Talk about rebounding. As we look at the keys to the game, this Air Force team and Jada McNabb, one of the top rebounders in the country.
McNabb is just a terror on the boards. She actually averages 4.24 offensive boards per game. So the Broncos are definitely going to have to not only box out, but box back and keep her off the glass.
This is Maya Hansen, and a whistle and an offensive foul as Danny Bays called for the illegal screen. So
That brush screen is a point of emphasis this year for officials, and something that I think my squad got away with for many, many years. But, you know, they're definitely looking on that, whether it's a handoff or just a quick flip and run through. It's something that the officials are definitely looking at.
This is O'Halloran, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Maya Hansen. So 21 seconds in, and the Broncos fouls on each possession. One offensive, one defense, and you look there. Looked like she got tripped.
I think she got tripped, yeah. I don't think that was in any way, shape, or form intentional.
That ball pinballs to Boise State's Natalie Pasco. Pasco, a career high or a season high 24 at New Mexico in the Broncos win earlier this season, and Boise State turns it over here on their second possession. 2 turnovers.
Gosh, on this drive, I mean, this is a lot of contact here. I'm surprised that Cortez was able to not pick up a blocking foul on that one on Hansen.
Here's Cortez to Perry. Work it on the baseline, back to Cortez. O'Halloran from deep, that's off the mark. Rebound off the deck to Pasco, and the Broncos up the floor. Pasco thought about the 3, but pulled it down. And now Boise State will set up their offense against a Falcon team that gives up 61.7 points a game. Libby Hutton on the drive, doesn't get it to go, but she will go to the line. Nice aggression by the sophomore.
Again, one of the things that has really stepped up with Libby's game is her attack mentality. I think early in the season, she was thinking pass first, attack second. And again, she's playing around 4 1,000-point scorers for the Broncos, so it's understandable why she's looking for her teammates. Love to see her attacking the rim early.
Sigh of relief from Libby as that one circles the iron and drops. Libby, a 70% free throw shooter. 4 points, 5 rebounds in the win at Air Force earlier this season, but 1 of 2 from the line, and here comes Perry.
And Perry is so good. I know we featured her in the beginning of our open, but she is so quick, and she's so good in the pull-up, mid-range. But that doesn't mean she can't also knock down threes and hurt you going to the rim. So, again, the Broncos just need to continue to contain her.
Inside, nice pass off to Emily Adams, and the 6-foot senior puts it in.
Adams is part of that 1-2 punch. Oh, tough turnover there.
And a steal by McNabb and the bucket.
Again, we talked about Perry. We mentioned McNabb already. Adams is the trio of that 1-3 punch, I should say.
And Natalie Pasco ties it up with a triple. And that's her spot. That's her spot. Pasco, the senior from Danville, California, San Ramon Valley High School, ties it at 4. And now Thompson into the passing lane knocks that one out of bounds. You said Milani's going to get her points. It's that secondary scoring that Boise State's going to have to contain. You see Stacey McIntyre in her second season in the helm at Air Force and very successful at the academy. This is Perry. Hansen screen. They go down deep to Adams. Off the window, gets the bounce.
And Adams, she's really picked up her scoring. In the last 8 games, she's averaging closer to 12 points a game, which is way above her average of 7.5. So I love to see her attacking. Again, you love to see your seniors playing their best basketball as they start to finish out their career.
Air Force with some full court pressure. Nice pass from Bays down to Hutton. Nice play off the window.
That's a great slip read by Libby, dashing to the basket. And then also, I think people underestimate how difficult that is to catch, know where you are, and to understand defense is going to be rotating over. Really strong finish by her.
Baseline right, it's Adams. Cut off nicely by Hutton. Here's McNabb. And that pass way too tall and out of bounds for the turnover. Of course, we talked about Gordy Presnell in his 21st season, and he is the 5th active D1 coaches in career wins, and everyone he just notches on the belt, or I should say many belts.
Many belts, many belts.
Many
a couple
belts.
Gray hairs in there, too. Don't let Coach hear that, though.
Maya Hansen. Tough pass in the low post to Hutton. Missed the bunny, and the rebound to Adams.
That's one that Hutton wants back, I'm quite sure. Again, she had to go up against a double team, but that's a shot she usually knocks down.
Here's Perry. to Adams. Emily didn't score in the game against Boise State in Colorado Springs earlier this season. Nice passing play to Adams, and she scored. She's got 6.
And that's a mismatch. You saw Maya Hansen was matched on Adams, a post player. Adams smartly called for the basketball, and I think Maya was stuck trying to get around, just a little bit too late for her. She's going to need to front if she's stuck on Adams.
Underneath, the ball is saved by Perry. Adams' season high is 23 against Utah State. She's already got 6 here in the first quarter. As the Broncos force the reset by the Academy. Gets it out to Perry. Perry guarded by Thompson. Dribbles it off her foot with 8 on the shot clock. Gets the screen from O'Halloran. Deep 3 from O'Halloran is too strong. And the rebound battle for Thompson. Lost it to Adams. Adams puts it up and missed it. Offensive board by McNabb doesn't go. And finally Hutton. And the outlet pass is off the ankle of Adams, recovered by the Air Force. Scramble for the ball. And they're going to call a foul on Boise State's Maya Hansen.
Yeah, that's her second. That would be a display of offensive rebounding prowess. And I got to tell you, McNabb, I love this kid. I mean, she is my type of player. She's 5'10", and this is the kid that's in there battling and clawing, and she just had 2 rebounds, and I would venture to say a half, trying to tip it to one of her teammates.
Freshman Morgan Maldonado checks in for Boise State. Held ball, but the possession stays with the Air Force, wearing their black Space Force uniforms tonight. Outside corner jumper off the mark, and the rebound, Pasco. That should be her 3rd rebound of the night.
It just feels good to be on the other side of the court right now.
Pasco for 3. That's off the iron. Rebound tipped, and coming out of the pack with it is McNabb. Outlet to Cortez. Cortez spins it out to O'Halloran. Playing closest to home that you will play in this conference. From Portland or Lake Oswego, a Portland suburb. This is Jordan Devon with the basketball. It's taken away by Maldonado for the Broncos. Finds Danny Bay. Spots for 3 on the way. Good. Fast break for the Broncos. Gives them the lead.
And I'm sure Danny had a sigh of relief on that one. She did not have the best offensive output up at Wyoming, only scoring 1 point, going 0 for 7. So it was nice of Morgan to find her in transition, and there's McNabb going again.
McNabb with the offensive board and the putback. McNabb is 7th in the country in offensive rebounding.
And she already has 4 rebounds at this exact moment, which is beyond impressive. 2 offensive, 2 defensive, and I would like to give her at least a half on top of that.
Devon playing tough defense on Maldonado, and they're going to count the hoop for the freshman for Boise State. Morgan Maldonado with a nice yo-yo dribble and puts it through. As we go to break, it's Danny Bays for 3. The Broncos lead by 1. Boise State on top by 1, and they lead the season series 25-5, winning earlier this season at Clune Arena in Colorado Springs. As mentioned, Air Force's only win 67-66 on March 2nd, 2024. And Boise State also has 2 neutral court wins against the Falcons. Those would be in the Mountain West Conference tournament. So Mountain West life in this building has not been kind to the Air Force Academy, who probably never wants to come back here again. As Maldonado's free throws missed, and Kenna Garza on the offensive glass knocks it out of bounds. Garza in for Boise State, replacing Hutton.
Garza has a nice cheering section. The girls' Idaho State tournament starts tomorrow, and so the Pocatello Thunder have entered the building to support their former teammate, Kenna Garza.
This is Devon. Swing it over to Cortez. Left wing to Marissa Hargrave now in the game. Hargrave drives baseline, pull-up jumper. Line drives it home. The junior from El Paso.
And the Broncos have been showing a little zone. Obviously, that's not a bad idea considering that Air Force is shooting 28% from 3, but that's an example of a great way to attack the zone, even if you're not an awesome three-point shooting team. Go ahead, attack a gap, see if you can get a 1-2 dribble pull-up, which is what Air Force just made good on.
Bays drives, kick it in the corner. Maldonado launches a 3, left it short, and the rebound picked up by Perry. Tatum Thompson, no shots here in the first quarter as Air Force has managed to put the lid on her, and there's a triple outside by Jada McNabb.
McNabb doesn't shoot many threes. She's coming in at 34% from beyond the arc, but she caught that in rhythm, feeling good about how many rebounds that she's already pulled down today, and I think said, why not?
Foul on the drive on McNabb. Or excuse me, that was on Devon. Watch this one again. Maldonado gets the screen and is cut off there by Jordan Devon from Little Elm, Texas, a junior. And now Brett Clay, a freshman from Hobbs, New Mexico, checking in. Her high school team was 106-17. She likes winning.
That's pretty good.
Inbounds. Pasco for three-point opportunity as the inbounds play works to Pasco on the baseline, and Natalie Pasco with 5 on the way to the line as we watch it again. Maldonado with the pass, Pasco with the cut, and the foul whistled on McNabb, her first. And Pasco ties this one up at 15. This is the third tie of the contest. Now the Broncos showing some full court pressure. Perry breaks it to Hargrove. Hargrove to the cutter McNabb. And here's Kenna Garza with the basketball. Has it ripped away, but then taken back by Maldonado. A lot of contact under the basket. Nothing called. Maldonado, baseline. Danny Bays drains the triple.
Nice find by Maldonado again. She's definitely come in and lifted the Broncos with Maya Hansen picking up her 2 quick fouls in the first quarter. So compliments to her for coming in and finding her teammate.
Bays with 6, and the Broncos with the basketball as Hutton checks back in. Tatum Thompson will sit with 1:47 to go in the quarter. It's a long time since Tatum Thompson has gone without a shot in a quarter. You said in the pregame that she's at the top of everybody's scouting report, and certainly Air Force knows what Tatum can do. It's 10.7 rebounds in the win at Air Force earlier this year. This is Pasco. Hutton spins, puts it up strong, doesn't get it to go. A lot of contact, nothing called. And then a whistle, and it's out of bounds off the Broncos. Cortez very aggressive defensively.
I really like Libby going up in that situation. You know, one player, I think she got Cortez to come up a little bit with that shot fake, which usually is a pretty easy call for the official as you go up the second time. Apparently they saw something different than we did.
Broncos by 2 as we're approaching a minute here in the first quarter. Boise State, one of only 2 teams in the Mountain West Conference to hit the 20-win mark this season. Looking to make it 21.
Again, the Broncos showing that zone look once again. Playing some, that's McNabb.
McNabb, another offensive rebound. And that three-pointer doesn't go at the horn for Hargrave. And this Air Force full court pressure has really stymied the Broncos. Takes them a while to get into offensive rhythm as Maldonado in tight along the sideline, looks for help, finally gives it to Pasco. You want to stay out of the corners and off the sideline. And that one, Perry with the steal. Perry with the drive and her first 2 points of the game.
You know, that's just a hustle play. I think Pasco thought the ball was rolling out and figured that, oh, you know, I can just go ahead and let that one go. But unfortunately, Perry was going after it.
Didn't quit on it.
No, didn't quit on it, which, again, is probably a Air Force trademark.
Garza goes baseline, and they're going to call the jump ball, but it'll be Boise State's ball on the alternating possession. As Mason Borcherding checks in for Boise State, and Emily Adams back in for the Air Force. It's Boise State's basketball of the Air Force. Cortez lined up to take it, and finally.
Sometimes that works. In summer
Yeah.
ball, you can get that every once in a while. They'll go another couple plays, and then somebody will figure it out.
On the inbounds, again, it's handed off to Maldonado with 4 on the shot clock, in the game clock. Maldonado puts it up in traffic, doesn't get it to go, and the first quarter ends tied at 17. Boise State shooting 54%, but Air Force has gotten off 8 more shots, but one of them was a triple from the corner. Falcons tied. Boise State 3 of 5 from long range so far tonight. And they lead the Mountain West Conference in 3-point field goal shooting and are 4th in the nation at 7 made 3-pointers a game. And a game against Air Force like this, the outside shot may be the key that Boise State's going to need to unlock their 21st victory.
You like seeing them hit from outside. That's O'Halloran.
O'Halloran with an air ball.
You know, she's taken 3 and has been unsuccessful in all 3, but I tell you what, that kid can shoot. So it's important the Broncos continue to approach out, have a stick hand against her, and make those shots difficult.
Kira Thompson works her way into a corner. On top to Pasco. Her 3 ball is good. That's 9 for Natalie Pasco. And the Broncos lead by 3. Boise State now 4 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Again, the Broncos are sticking with that zone. They run sort of a Syracuse-style zone.
Smooth
nice
for
move.
Perry. Sorry to interrupt, but that was a smooth drive and pull-up for Perry. She's now got 4. Cross-court pass dangerous, and it's last touched by the Broncos off of Kira Thompson.
And that makes the 6th turnover for the Broncos. So, again, if you're wondering why, you know, the Broncos right now are 4-6 from 3. They're shooting 53% from the field. And why are they only up 1? Well, that's why. That and rebounding. Right now, they're getting out-rebounded 12-7 and have given up a total of 4 offensive rebounds, 3 of which are McNabb.
And the Falcons have 14 points in the paint compared to the Broncos 4. There's a nice kiss off the glass by Perry, and she took advantage of Mason Borcherding, the freshman, to give the Falcons the lead by 1. On the drive, Bays can't get it to drop. The ball knocked free. Pasco fights for it, and it's off of Natalie and out of bounds. And right now, every 50-50 ball is going to the Falcons, and I guess you really shouldn't be surprised with the discipline and the hustle of this academy team.
You know, and Air Force isn't known for doing a ton of pressing. I mean, this is more press than they typically show. I mean, sometimes they'll deny the main ball handler, so that would have been Hansen. Now with this group, that would be Kira Thompson. But, you know, they're putting some pretty decent pressure with a run and jump full court. And what it's doing is it's speeding up the Broncos. So they aren't allowed to take that time that they normally do to set up some of their shots and run some of their plays. You see Perry coming over trying to get a little trap over here with Clay. So again, they're making the Broncos frantic.
Kira Thompson answering the bucket by O'Halloran. And the Falcon lead is 1. Seven lead changes already. Outside for 3. That's off the mark for Clay, but the offensive rebound to the Falcons. Clay on the baseline, literally on the baseline, and turns it over. And that is the 4th turnover by the Falcons as Izzy Harms checks in, the freshman from Eugene, Oregon's Willamette High School. And Boise State has been unable to really solve this Air Force full court pressure. And now Jada Lewis in the backcourt, and they're going to call the 10-second violation. And Boise State's offense is totally out of sync right now, thanks to the pressure of this Air Force defense.
Again, you can feel the pace right now favoring the Falcons. You can also sense that the Broncos are a little bit on their heels. They're looking to pass to get rid of the basketball instead of to attack the basket. So anytime you can get a good team, to be out of their rhythm, which is what the Falcons are doing right now, you can have some success.
McNabb outside left. Ball knocked free by Borcherding, who's called for the foul over the back. Gordy Presnell said after the loss at Fresno State that the Bulldogs just out-physicaled Boise State, and you get a little sense that that's the strategy that Air Force is trying here tonight.
I mean, Air Force is really allowing no breathing room. Every single catch, you got somebody in your face, touching your stomach. I mean, they're right there. So the Broncos, this is a good test for them. This is something important that they have to get used to.
McNabb with yet another rebound with 3 Broncos right there. Ball knocked free. Perry comes up with it. It's tipped, but it's come down to O'Halloran. And the Falcons have 10 on the shot clock. Corner for 3. That's off the mark and drops through. Shooter's touch. McNabb now with 7
Five
rebounds.
offensive boards, 7 rebounds total.
That was Cortez with the 3 ball to give the Falcons their biggest lead at 4. Here's Tatum Thompson. She's got that look in her eye like she says, enough of this, I'm going to take over. With the dribble up top. In the corner to Pasco. Natalie leads the Broncos with 9. And Tatum Thompson now on the board with her first 2.
And that's the first shot that Tatum's taken yet this game, which is, I mean, again, preseason player of the year. First shot, not until 2 minutes or 4 minutes, excuse me, into the second quarter. That's pretty ridiculous.
Harms with a defensive move. Adams, though, throws it off of Pasco, and the Falcons will retain possession as Hutton checks back in for Borcherding. As Gordy Presnell looks for a combination that's going to calm down this Falcon press as Bays checks back in for Pasco. Adams, that one is off her hands. It's picked up by Danny Bays. Bays with O'Halloran to beat, and she doesn't get the layup to drop. The rebound is tied up, and the jump ball, good hustle by Danny Bays, will keep possession with Boise State, and Danny's got that look on her face like, I can't believe I missed that layup.
You know, I think she knew she had footsteps, so somebody was chasing her down. I don't think she knew she had 2 sets of footsteps coming in there, but still a little lack of concentration on Bays.
Boise State 13-1 on their home floor this year, but right now in with a tough battle against the Air Force Academy. As Jada Lewis outside, kicks it over to Harms, gets the Thompson screen. Now to Tatum down low, little 8-footer, too strong, and a rebound by Perry. Here come the Falcons. They don't have the number, so Perry will slow it down.
That was a good job by Harms, stopping the basketball, giving Perry something to think about while the rest of her teammates came back.
16-7, the rebounding advantage for Air Force. Perry outside, guarded by Harms. Perry missed that one, and the rebound is corralled by Danny Bays.
And kudos to Jada Lewis on that one. She had the rebounding responsibility against McNabb, which, as we've seen, is not an easy task. But she accepted that task, and she excelled.
Cortez kicks that one out of bounds. 5:03 to go in the half. 22 on the shot clock for Boise State as Lewis drives on Cortez and has the ball stripped away by Emily Adams. Adams ahead to Cortez. To Perry. McNabb. McNabb averages 7.9 rebounds and 8.5 points a game. And she's got 7 points and 7 rebounds so far here in the first half. Perry, back forth, fires, no. Rebound to Bays. Izzy Harms, rainbow, too strong. O'Halloran with the board.
And Harms has been really good as of late from 3. I mean, right now she's shooting 46% from 3. I probably would have liked to have seen her take that without the dribble. It's a little weird to take that dribble and then shoot, but she needed that to collect, so be it. Again, very talented freshman.
Adams drives baseline. That shot didn't have a chance. The ball is ripped out of Hutton's hands. No foul called on Adams, who got a lot of Hutton's arm. But the Broncos maintain possession, and there's a foul on Adams on the drive, and we will get a timeout. We'll take it as well. 3:54 to go in a close, hard-fought battle between Air Force and Boise State. The Broncos trailing by 2 as we take this timeout. Well, you can't score unless you have the basketball, and the best way to get the basketball is to rebound. And right now, Kim, It's 18-10. Air Force leading the rebounding battle.
The rebounds are so important, and the Broncos have really been on a great stretch in terms of out-rebounding their opponent. They are 15-1 when they win the battle of the glass. Right now, Air Force definitely is winning that battle. So at the beginning, it's going to be very, very important that the Broncos clean that up as we move into the rest of the second quarter.
Lewis finally gets it into Hutton. Almost risked the 5-second count. Libby with trouble. Nobody to pass it to. Hands it off to Jada Lewis. This Bronco offense really struggling against this tight Air Force defense. Lewis looks for Thompson, gets it to her with 7 on the shot clock. Tatum spins on Perry. That's a good matchup. Tatum kicks it out to the open Danny Bays 3, which spins out. Hutton tips it out. Bays dives for it, but it's picked up by O'Halloran. Her free throw line jumper is good.
That was a good effort by Bays to try to keep that possession alive. You saw her sprinting towards the board. Right now, I think the Broncos are settling for a lot of single gap drives. Sometimes if you can, like in a dribble drive philosophy, if you can clear another person out of there, you're creating a double or a triple gap, and they're really trying to drive into what's a help side defender. The other thing that's hurting the Broncos is Air Force is kind of universally the same size, so that means they can switch almost every single ball screen, which is making it very difficult for the Broncos to come off with the person already in their face.
Cortez with that last foul on the full court press. Bay spins at the free throw line, gets it to Thompson. She faces up against McNabb, goes to the left, puts it home. Tough shot for Tatum Thompson. She's got 4.
That's Tatum's favorite thing to do. We used to call that the Charles Barkley move.
Yeah.
You know, a couple dribble in. Again, unless they're going to bring a double, she has that all day, every day.
2-point game. Outside is McNabb. Perry left open at the free throw line. That one doesn't go. The rebound tip to Lewis. Lewis doesn't have the numbers, but she attacks anyway. Spins, puts it up, doesn't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Hargrave and lost it to O'Halloran. You liked everything about that play, but the finish.
I did. I think the only thing I would say is I like that finish to be with the left hand. And
right.
So had she come back with that left hand, I think she would have had a better angle on the finish.
Perry outside. We approach 2 minutes here in the half. O'Halloran, quick fire, doesn't get it. Rebound off Emily Adams and out of bounds to the Broncos. The baseline official, Kenneth Nash, wasn't quite sure, but the outside official, Kimberly Hobbs, with the call as you watch it again. And there you see it clearly off of number 31, Emily Adams. If you look at the back of the Space Force jerseys they're wearing, it says Sempre Supra, which is Latin for always above, the official motto of the U.S. Space Force.
I thought that was your high school Latin class that was coming back to you.
No, that would not be a good thing to try to do on TV. Outside, it's Maldonado with the dribble. Morgan finds some space, gets it over to Pasco. Shake and bake, missed the shot though. And the rebound to O'Halloran. Nice job by Pasco to get open, but couldn't complete it. Oh, Bays just gets wiped out at midcourt. The Falcons playing 5-on-4, and now the officials stop the clock. Gordy Presnell wants a foul on that play.
So that was
watch this one
that's
again.
A tough screen. You're supposed to give the defender a step, and I don't think she had the ability to see that screen. That's a tough play, and Danny took a hard hit on that.
Somebody on her team that needs to call that screen out to her, let her know it's coming. Oh, Adams now with 8 points, and the Falcon lead is 4 as Thompson into forecourt. Could Gordy Presnell have asked for a review on that one?
Unfortunately, no.
On the drive, a whistle and a foul called outside on the Air Force. That'll be their 3rd team foul.
The only time they can call for a review would be a hit to the face, and technically that was just a pure body blow is what that was.
Danny Bays stays in the game. She's one of the toughest people you'll ever want to meet. Joked with her after one of the games that they were still picking pieces of her off the floor here.
I think she called it Aussie Tough.
Yeah, Aussie Tough, that's right. Pass out to Bays, guarded by Perry, gets a screen from Thompson. Feeds it into Tatum, and she is fouled from behind. A hard foul by Perry. Thompson picks herself up off the ExtraMile Arena hardwood as we look at this one again. The two-man game with Bays and Thompson, and there's the foul, and Tatum Thompson hits the deck. What was I saying about being physical?
Yeah,
down low, Maldonado with the head fake and then missed the shot. Should have gone straight up with it, but pulled it back down and missed the layup. It's a couple layups the Broncos have missed so far tonight as Perry works on Maldonado.
I don't know if you're noticing, Libby Hutton is working her butt off down there in the inside with her matchup on Adams. I love seeing that extra work that's happening in the key.
O'Halloran. Bays fights through that screen. Pass into the low post is stolen by Maldonado. Trouble with the dribble, almost has it stolen by McNabb, but the Broncos into the forecourt.
I think McNabb got away with an extra hit there, and quite a few vocal fans in the crowd want to see a few more whistles happening in favor of the Broncos.
Hutton doesn't get the call. Fouls are 4 called against the Broncos, 8 against Air Force so far with under 10 seconds to go in the half. A whistle and an offensive foul called against McNabb with the illegal screen.
That might have been a little bit of a makeup for something that was missed a few possessions ago. But it's physical out there. You're going to see, yeah, here's McNabb, and she did turn her shoulder a little bit as Danny brushed through there.
Air Force 8-1 this year when they lead at the half. Maldonado doesn't get that heave to drop. And as we enter the half, it is the Air Force Academy Falcons leading the Boise State Broncos 30-26 here at ExtraMile Arena. The Broncos head down the tunnel to their locker room to regroup, and I'm imagining that Gordy Presnell and staff will have a lot of words for his squad, trailing here at the half by 4 to the Air Force Falcons. Boise State and Air Force halftime activities come your way next. Welcome back to ExtraMile Arena. We are at the half with Kim Bridges. I am Mark Snyder. Air Force leading Boise State 30-26, in large measure to the work of one Jada McNabb for the Air Force Academy, the nation's 7th leading rebounder. She's also added the points tonight, gets the block there. She has really shined and been a thorn in the Broncos' side. 7 points, 7 rebounds in her action tonight.
McNabb, I mean, everybody in the gym, I think, knows what a rebounder she is, and the Broncos definitely know it. This has been something they've been preaching all week in practice, so there's no surprise there. Her effort is there. Again, you got to commend her for just continuously, even if she doesn't get the board, she oftentimes pokes it out to a teammate who's able to get that possession. So very, very valuable to the Falcons.
So you have to put a body on her, and as you see in some of these highlights, Boise State has not been doing that tonight. And on the other side for Boise State, Natalie Pasco, 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. The senior from Danville was the early spark the Broncos needed.
And thank goodness that Natalie is coming and scoring today, because right now scoring's been tough. Thompson just having 4 points. Natalie right now 2 of 4 from three-point land, and she also made good on one of her free throws. So again, we need to see some more scoring out of those other big 1,000-point scores for the Broncos.
Take a look at elsewhere in the Mountain West Conference, some big games. New Mexico is at Grand Canyon, and right now the Lobos, with about 3.5 minutes to go in the third, lead the Lopes 43-42. New Mexico and Grand Canyon are chasing Boise State. A Grand Canyon win would tie them with the Lobos in the conference standings. Nevada coming in at 4-11 at Colorado State, and the Rams only lead by 1 at the half, 33-32. Again, Colorado State is just a game behind Boise State, so the Broncos hope to pull this one out tonight and root hard for the Wolfpack to upset the Rams in Fort Collins. And in a game between the first and second place teams in the conference, early going, 3.5 minutes to go in the first, it is UNLV leading San Diego State 9-7. A little later tonight, in about 40 minutes, Utah State and San Jose State will battle down in Silicon Valley. So a lot of intrigue with 4.5 games to go before the conference tournament, which starts at the home of UNLV March 7th through 10th. 30-26, Air Force leading Boise State at the half. And we are back with more halftime activities from ExtraMile Arena after we take this timeout. Air Force Academy leading Boise State 30-26 at the half. Boise State 5-6 this season when trailing at the half, while the Air Force is 8-1 and the Falcons now in the lead. So Boise State will want to turn to their 4 seniors, all members of the career 1,000-point club. And this is really unique, Kim, when you look at this. And Mike Petrino, one of the Broncos assistant coaches, talked about it. Danny Bays, Maya Hansen, Natalie Pasco, Tatum Thompson, all over 1,000 points. But it's a unique thing you won't see a lot of in college basketball anymore, will you?
No, you won't. In this new era with so many transfers, the transfer portal, it's really impressive that all 4 of these players did this together at Boise State. So, again, a huge accommodation for this program, a huge accolade for each one of these players. And, again, very remarkable that they were able to do that here as Broncos.
And Boise State, obviously, we'll celebrate them as senior night rolls our way on February 28th, 2 o'clock. So it's senior afternoon. Join Kim and I here on the Mountain West Network as we bring you that one. And this is really the golden era of Gordy Presnell's team. He's had good teams in the past, but those 4 seniors really have built the foundation. We take a look at the first half stats, and Boise State cooled off considerably in that second quarter, shooting just 4 of 14 and going scoreless in the last 3 minutes. So they're shooting 38.5%, but you really want to credit this Air Force defense for making Boise State very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable for sure. And I know it says 8 turnovers, but I think what that stat doesn't show is how many rushed and hurried shots the Broncos have been settling for on some of their possessions. And that, of course, keys into your offensive shooting percentage. So the Broncos need to do a better job handling pressure, keeping their calm, and making sure they're taking the shots that they want instead of letting Air Force dictate their pace and tempo. On one very good note, though, I will say the Broncos have outscored their opponents 519 to 402 in the third quarter. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Presnell can do to fire up his team and to bring them out to show a little bit better effort here in this third quarter compared to the second.
Well, whoever the rebounding coach is, I'm sure is peeling some paint on the locker room walls, and you got to get a body on them as the Falcons not only out rebounding the Broncos 23-12, including 6-0 on the offensive glass, but second chance points 5-0, points in the paint 20-8. Really, most of the key metrics outside of three-point shooting favor the Air Force Academy Falcons, which is why they have the 4-point lead at the intermission. We've got second half action and more halftime activities coming your way after we take this timeout. Falcons by 4 here in Boise. Well, tonight the Boise State coaches are wearing special painted shoes painted by patients at St. Luke's Children's Hospital here in Boise. The shoes representing strength, partnership, and reminder that our community shows up for one another, as Boise State posted that on Instagram. And Heather Sower showed us hers before the game, and really cool shoes and a great way to involve the kids in the Kicks for a Cause. The coaches get a kick out of it too. They
really did, and a few of the coaches were able to go to that event. You saw there on the tape, I know that Millie Sharp and also Maya Hansen were there. I think a couple other players were as well. Very, very unique event to not only celebrate, a lot of people have their breast cancer game. This is sort of recognition of all cancers and everybody who's fighting out there.
Looking around the Mountain West, we gave you some of the scores. San Diego State with a 2-game lead over UNLV, but the Rebels and Aztecs playing today. Roland from UNLV, Meadow Roland, the player of the week, her 4th of the season to lead the Mountain West, and the 7th player of the week for a UNLV player. And the Broncos, as we alluded to earlier, their 9-game win streak snapped in Fresno, and 3 Mountain West programs now in the top 100 in net, and that really becomes important now as you head into March Madness and teams looking for at-large berths in the NCAA tournament. We're set to go the second half. We'll see what the coaches made and adjustments at halftime. It's Thompson, Hutton, Bays, Pasco, and Hanson for Boise State. Cortez, Perry, McNabb, O'Halloran, and Adams, the original starters for both teams. And here we go with second half action.
And Hanson played just 5 minutes in that first half due to those 2 quick fouls. So look to see some big moves by her to try to get involved in this game.
They need her steady hand to run the offense in the face of this Air Force defense. This is Cortez. Perry drives on Pasco, pulls up, doesn't get it to go, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Emily Adams, the senior from Bishop Fenwick High School in Lebanon, Ohio. Just 1 rebound in the game against Boise State earlier this season, and now the officials are going to go to the monitor to confirm that Adams was indeed the last one to touch it, and we'll try and take a look and see what the replay shows.
Coach McIntyre called for that review.
And while they go to the monitor, we will take a timeout. Just 27 seconds into the second half, we've got a video review. We'll tell you the verdict when we come back. Our officials have deliberated. Kenneth Nash, Kimberly Hobbs, and Lorena Almada. And now they are telling the scores table what the verdict was. And now Kimberly Hobbs telling Gordy Presnell, who does not seem thrilled by the verdict, which leads me to believe it was out of bounds off of Hutton. And they will set the shot clock to 20 seconds and give Air Force the ball. A successful appeal by the Falcons and their coach, Stacey McIntyre. Seemed like more time had run off the shot clock than that, but they do have that on the screen as well. So we trust that that 20 seconds is accurate. Although we played 27 seconds and Air Force had the ball to start the half. So I don't know that that clock is actually accurate. The inbounds pass is stolen by Bay, so it's academic. Here comes Maya Hansen, the quarterback of the offense, to Danny Bays. Back out to Maya Hansen. Guarded out there by Cortez. A little more life and movement to this Bronco offense here in the first possession. Sloppy pass over Thompson is stolen away.
And that's a called ATO that the Broncos like to run, give Tatum the basketball. We've seen her do that quite a few times. You almost have to anticipate the pass. Tatum likes to receive that around the short corner, but I don't think she was to that spot yet when they threw that.
Perry with the miss and a good rebound by Hutton, who then protects the ball.
Great rebound by Hutton. You love seeing him chin the ball. That's a strong rebound by her.
Just her second rebound of the game. Outside, it's Pasco, gets the screen from Thompson. Natalie into the lane, cut off by O'Halloran, tosses it up and scores.
And I think Natalie had a little contact in her face on that one. That could have been another free throw situation, but kudos to her to make sure she focused on that finish instead of hoping for just the foul.
First player in double figures for either team. She's got 11. Down low to Perry, or excuse me, that's Adams, and Adams is really a handful for Boise State tonight. I don't think she was at the top of the Broncos scouting report.
She was one of the ones at the top for sure, but again, she's been on a real streak, averaging over 12 points a game in those last 5 games.
And O'Halloran drains the triple, and now it's a 7-point lead. Air Force's biggest of the game. Bays tries to answer with 3. That's too strong. She gets the long rebound, stops in the lane, underneath for Hutton, doesn't get the layup, gets a second chance and scores.
I think Libby Hutton was working on her offensive rebounding stats right there. You know, sometimes we say that when you miss a close one. As long as you get it and you put it back in, it's fine.
5 points, 3 rebounds now for Hutton. And the lead is 5 for the Air Force. Outside Perry, 6 points in a relatively quiet first half, but Adams with 10 has done most of the damage. This is a drive, and they're going to call the foul on Hutton, bumping McNabb as she went to the basket, the junior from Rapid City.
That's tough. I mean, again, these will be the first free throws that the Falcons have shot this game, which is really interesting to make it a whole half of basketball and to just now be getting to the free throw line. It did look to me that McNabb may have initiated that contact. But again, that's what you want to do as an offensive player, that you're going to go ahead and attack, try to get some body, try to get a finish as well.
McNabb, an all-freshman team in her first year at Air Force, hits them both, a 61% free throw shooter, and she has lived up to the billing tonight with now 9 points and 7 rebounds. As the Broncos trail again by 7, equaling their biggest deficit. Here's Thompson at the top. Backdoor to Pasco, cut off by O'Halloran. Spins, puts up the shot, left it short, and O'Halloran gets the rebound.
And again, right now, you have to credit the Falcons. They're doing a tremendous job limiting the Broncos to one shot. Every single time you see a shot go up by BSU, you're seeing a black jersey getting right on them and pushing them back. And the Broncos, I mean, they need to pursue the rebounds harder. I mean, plain and simple.
Shot is blocked by Danny Bays, out of bounds.
I think the ball skipped off of Danny after she got that block, which is why it's going to remain Air Force ball.
8 on the shot clock for the Falcons. Inbound, Cortez drains the triple. Just a 20% three-point shooter and gives Air Force a 10-point lead. And here's the full court pressure. Boise State out of sorts offensively, and they're letting Air Force really dictate the pace of this game, and the Falcons have taken full advantage. Pasco gets that ball put back into her face and then loses it on the dribble, and it'll be out of bounds. And now Gordy Presnell is going to challenge that call. He is asking for the replay. We'll have to look at it again. I thought it was a correct call, but maybe I missed something. That looks like it went off of her thigh. I'm going to say it's going to be Air Force Academy's ball. It's Gordy Presnell. I think that's sort of reaching into the desperation mode right now.
You can see Coach Presnell's frustration, and you know, both benches have an iPad back there, and so they're able to look at a very quick review. Sometimes that review doesn't come fast enough, and so you as a coach have to make a decision whether or not you would like to appeal. And in that situation, we'll see how they come out with it.
We'll get the verdict when we come back after this timeout here in Boise. Take a look again. That, boy, the reach-in by Adams, it certainly looked like it went off of Natalie Pasco's left thigh, but the official's taking a good long look at it, so it's not maybe as clear-cut, Kim, as I thought it when I saw that video.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear the final determination by the officials. That did occur closest to the Boise State bench, and you could see quite a few of the players standing up, and you know, it's hard to believe the players sometimes. They're always going to point that other direction. Right. But you do see them conferring with one another. I, too, would be surprised if this appeal is overruled.
Or is sustained, I guess, is the way we would look at it. But it does give Gordy Presnell a timeout, and we were talking during the break that he cherishes those like they're gold, but in this instance, break the Air Force momentum a little bit. Broncos being outscored 10-4 here in the quarter, so maybe this serves a good purpose even if he doesn't win on the appeal.
I mean, half the time when you're calling a timeout, you're trying to break the momentum of the other team. So either way, he had quite a bit to say to his squad.
And yes, indeed, it is Air Force's ball after the review. Well, actually, it's... Did he just announce it's Boise State's ball?
No.
No. I thought I heard our official, Kenneth Nash, say the call was confirmed, but they had originally awarded it to Boise State, so I'm all sorts of confused.
They had originally awarded it to Air Force, which is why Coach Presnell appealed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Call was confirmed. So it'll be the Falcons' ball up by 10, 6:09 to go. And the Broncos showing some full court pressure. Perry in the backcourt with Bays and Pasco defensively, but Cortez to Perry finally across the timeline with about 2 seconds to spare. In traffic, Perry gets the shooter's roll, and the Falcons are now up 12 on Perry's 8th point of the game.
And again, right now, Air Force is just doing a little run and jump. So, you know, you see Tatum pass the ball back to Maya, but then she's got to stick around because her player, McNabb, went and doubled on Maya. So, again, the Broncos need to be looking out for one another a little bit better.
Hutton out to Pasco. Natalie for three. And a little contact after the shot, but it goes, and the Broncos needed that. Air Force has hit 4 of their last 5 shots and lead by 9.
Broncos definitely needed that, and this is something they can build upon.
Now a rebound to Hutton.
Perry will want that one back, that's for sure. That was a nice pass by our teammate.
Thompson from Bays for 2, and the Broncos with 5 quick points.
And this is a little momentum. Now we're getting some people off of their hands in the stadium. This is a great crowd for the Broncos today. So again, give them something to cheer about. Nice shot
by Hansen. Hansen, tough pass to Thompson. 7 in a row for the Broncos.
I think this will be a timeout here for Coach McIntyre. She's telling that she wants it there.
Come over to the bench and call timeout. Boise State on a 7-0 run. Brought some life to the ExtraMile arena. The Broncos defense turning into offense, and they're now down 5, and that's the spark that this team needed.
They really did, and you know, that last layup by Tatum Thompson, I don't know if we can see a replay on that one. That was tough. That was almost a no-jump layup. She didn't have hardly any time to prepare to go up, but compliments to her for getting that finish. Oh, here we go. I think we're going to get the steal.
Steal by Hansen.
We'll get this finish here by Tatum. Again, she had to really, she didn't have much time at all to go up with that. But you love seeing senior to senior love right there. And that puts Tatum Thompson at 8 points. She had 0 points, 0 shots in the first quarter, ended up with 4 at half. So it's nice to see her get into that scoring column. And if nothing else, it's nice to take a deep breath and say, yes, we're good basketball players, and this is our home court. We're here to defend it.
McNabb hands it to Perry. Bays with the dive, and they're going to call Danny Bays with the foul, diving for that loose ball, and that is 2 on Danny Bays.
And you can't fault Bays in that situation. Momentum's going in the Broncos' favor, and she's just trying to be a catalyst to continue that momentum in her favor. So, again, I like the effort by the Broncos.
Perry in the backcourt. Broncos on a 7-0 run. As Perry tries to settle down things to O'Halloran. Step back, fires the 3, off the mark. Pasco with the rebound, protects the ball, gets it ahead to Thompson. Hutton running the floor. That one's deflected by Adams and goes off the glass into the hands of O'Halloran.
That was a great rim run, and I like the look. That was a good defensive play by the Falcon player.
Emily Adams with the defensive gem. She leads the Air Force scoring brigade with 10. As this is McNabb. O'Halloran with 5 on the shot clock. Adams underneath. That one doesn't go. The rebound tipped out, and it comes to Bays. Ahead to Hansen. Air Force is back. So the Broncos will set the offense. Thompson up top. Nice pass down low for Hutton. She puts it in. Early in the season, Libby was not making those shots. Her confidence has grown tremendously, and it's a 3-point game as the Broncos are on a 9-0 run.
Hutton recognized the mismatch on that one. And again, it's not just even just getting the ball, but once getting the ball, to have the composure to finish strong to the basket. So that's
Perry
really well done.
is fouled on the way to the hoop by Danny Bays, and that will now be 3 on Danny as Perry will go to the free throw line, just a 77% free throw shooter. She was not going to give the ball up that possession.
No, she wasn't. And, you know, her coming back to her right hand on the left side is what drew that foul against Bays. So I know I made a comment earlier about Jada Lewis coming back with her right hand. In this situation, that's how Perry's getting to the foul line, because she came back against her body to try to get that shot up.
Broncos go for a little more size in the backcourt, or on the floor rather. Izzy Harms at 6'1" comes in for Danny Bays. That breaks the Broncos' 9-0 run.
And Harms is coming off a great game. She had a career-high 6 rebounds, 2 steals. She had her first career block against Wyoming. So I think if the Broncos can get some good minutes out of her, this would be really beneficial. Give Danny a little bit of a breather. Is that 3 in there?
Third foul on Cortez on the full court press. Watch this one again.
Cortez is long. She's 5'11", and so her wingspan, she does a great job keeping her hands high, and that's been causing all sorts of havoc for the Broncos on offense.
Marissa Hargrave from El Paso checks in for her. And you can see the effect of having Maya Hansen on the floor as well. They're handling the press better. She's the senior, the experienced ball handler, and has taken some of the pressure off of certainly the freshmen who are trying to get past this defense. Nice drive by Hutton. She beat Adams off the dribble and took it in for the bucket.
Great drive by Libby. Actually, very similar to the drive that she had, which was that go-ahead winner when they were at Wyoming. No regret, no look back, just right to the rim. Well done by her.
Pasco rebounds the miss by Perry. Perry tonight just 4 of 13 from the field. Thompson muscles up over Perry, doesn't go. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Air Force Academy's Perry Milani, but Tatum Thompson really wishes, I think, she could have that one back on the mismatch. Muscled down low, drew the contact, but the ball goes to the Broncos. O'Halloran falls. Broncos can't take advantage of it. Hutton, nice move, fake the pass, missed the shot. Adams with the rebound.
Again, so many bunnies, so many points left on the board for the Broncos right now.
And Perry makes them pay with the coast-to-coast trip. And Perry's heating up. She's now got 12, and the lead is 5. Thompson answers for Boise State.
The Broncos just really need to get some stops. I mean, they're doing a better job scoring the basketball. They've made 5 of their last 7 possessions. So they need to get some stops on this end, and if they continue to do that, you're going to see this lead continue to shrink. It's down to 3 right now.
Thompson with 10 points. Perry answers, and now it's the Milani Perry show as she is heating up here in the third quarter. She's got 8 in the quarter.
She's so smooth on that pull-up jump shot. It's very pretty.
Harms doesn't get it to go. All Air Force on the rebound. 3 Falcons boxing out down low. Now with a minute to go in the third quarter, Air Force clinging to the 5-point advantage, and Perry's going to slow things down as the Academy now with 10 on the shot clock. It's stolen by Harms, but it comes back to Hargrave. The shot by O'Halloran, no good. Here comes Thompson on the run out. Thompson with 2 to beat will slow it down wisely. Maya Hansen guns the cross-court pass. Natalie Pasco drains the triple.
And again, I think contact on that shot after the shot. Sometimes I don't know how Natalie gets that shot off, to be totally honest. She, just barely skimmed over. Perry had a great, Adams had a great approach out on her and just barely went over her extended fingertips.
2-point lead for the Air Force with 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Perry drives with the left hand, missed it. Izzy Harms with the rebound, and that will end the third quarter, and Boise State comes to life in the last half of that quarter. A 9-0 run. They pulled her within 2. Natalie Pasco for 3. Fourth quarter comes your way next. Boise State on a 9-0 scoring run to turn this game around. Pasco with the triple there on the feed, and then running the floor, Tatum Thompson. She now has 10 points, and off the turnover, a nice play by Hansen to a tough layup by Tatum Thompson. And Boise State getting contributions from everybody, down just 2 as we start the fourth quarter.
Now we're in possession basketball, right? So we're nearly evened up right now.
Pass through Garza's hands. Pasco spins high off the window, doesn't get it, and it'll be knocked out of bounds by Adams. Garza battling down low, kept that one alive, and Boise State will have 20 seconds on the shot clock coming back in. Hansen to trigger on the baseline. Maldonado and Garza in for Boise State. Here's Maldonado. Morgan is going to bring it back out to Thompson. Looking for Pasco. Natalie gets it. Back to Thompson. Up strong. Doesn't get it to go, but she will go to the free throw line. Nice senior to senior action there.
Again, those are shots that usually Tatum finishes. She could see the contact coming and almost braces herself. You can see her pull up her legs on this. Didn't quite get the angle that I think she wanted, but nice job to attack hard and get to the free throw line.
Tatum Thompson, a 73% free throw shooter, the senior from Woodinville, Washington. Preseason player of the year. Ties the game. It's tied at 48, the first tie since we ended the first quarter, tied at 17.
And the Broncos are just playing with a little bit more confidence. I think they've settled into the pressure, understand that it's coming every single time. But again, how they've come back into this game, they had that little spark, which turned into a bigger run. And so right now, it's score and stop. It's playing good, solid team defense and making sure you don't give second chance opportunities.
O'Halloran with the miss in that third quarter. Boise State out-rebounded Air Force 11-5. That's a big reason why they were able to crawl back into this one. As Maya Hansen cutting back Doris Thompson, and she goes up strong, and Hargrave gets whistled for the foul.
I think Hargrave was trying to plead her case, but that one seemed pretty open and shut, I think. Great pass, though. Great find by Maya Hansen.
Through three Air Force players.
She really thread the needle, but great cut by Tatum Thompson. That's not a drop play. That's a read. That's a senior recognizing that the defense has been sucked in. I'm going to go ahead and cut back.
That's pure instinct. Misses the first free throw. Boise State looking for their first lead in quite some time. And the Broncos up by 1 early here in the fourth quarter. And now Perry, who's pacing the way with 14 for Air Force, brings it into the forecourt. Brett Clay into the game for Air Force, as is Jordan Devon with the basketball right now. Gives it up to Adams. Emily drives strong, throws it wildly, but gets bailed out on the foul call.
Yeah, Kenna Garza came over and definite blocking foul right there, which is too bad. I mean, I think that Adams was starting to get downhill, which is important that we had somebody rotate over there. Tatum Thompson might have been able to do a switch and communicate that with Garza. That communication was not made.
Adams, a 67% free throw shooter, misses the first. This is her 97th game played at the Air Force Academy. 26th start tonight. And she missed them both, but the offensive rebound picked up by Air Force's Brett Clay, and they get a reset of the shot clock. The ninth offensive rebound now by the Falcons. Underneath Adams, mismatch over Maldonado, and Air Force regains the lead.
And again, great recognition by Adams, noticing that she's got not only a freshman on her, but a serious size advantage. And, Maldonado didn't have anything that she could do against that.
Pasco gives it to Thompson, looks down low for Maldonado, but instead on top to Kenna Garza. Protects the ball from Adams.
10.
8 on the shot clock, now 7. Maldonado sees the clock, gets it down to Garza. Kenna goes up strong and scores. Kenna Garza down low gives the Broncos the 1-point lead.
And a real big cheering section from one corner of the arena. The Pocatello Thunder are here in force.
Adams stumbles with the ball, missed the shot. Maldonado with the rebound.
I think Garza got a little deflection on that one as well.
Tough catch by Thompson down low. She spins on Devon and kicks it back out to Maldonado, who goes baseline, spins it out. Thompson, 15-footer, skips off the iron. Perry with the board. That's a shot she usually drains.
She really does. I almost wanted her to finish with a step through. She got herself down.
Perry through contact. Now here's Pasco on the run out. Natalie throws it up, doesn't get it. Garza tries to get the rebound, and the ball is out of bounds to Boise State, I believe.
Yes.
And that is the call. Garza just kind of fingertip try to control that rebound. If we watch this one again, Pasco, good defense forcing the miss, and then you can see Garza off the fingertips, and then it's last touched by Brett Clay. Corner, Thompson guns it, of course, to Maya Hansen. Maya, ball is kicked out of bounds.
So many hammer passes. I don't even know.
Kim Bridges, a former coach, is apoplectic sitting next to me here, looking at the way the Broncos are whipping that ball around on the baseline. Inbounds to Pasco. And the ball is almost stolen away by Air Force. That pesky Jordan Devon at 5'6", the junior. Their best three-point shooter last year at 39%, but she's getting it done defensively right now, disrupting Boise State's offense. Inbounds to Pasco. Gets the screen from Hutton into the corner for Hansen. Shot is blocked by McNabb, and here comes Air Force with the ball and a one-point lead. McNabb gives it to Devon. Perry, stutter step dribble. Slow it down. Calls out the play. She's got Maldonado on her. Gets the screen from Adams. Out to Adams. Her jumper from the left side is too strong. And Tatum Thompson with the rebound for Boise State. I think a lot of fans' hearts in their throats on that possession.
Agreed. And you see Coach Presnell, he's been very upset. He's been talking to the officials about two hands. Usually when you see one hand, they used to say a hot stove, you can get one touch. But when you do two, it's an automatic foul.
Tatum Thompson spins and scores for Boise State. She's now got 15.
Again, Tatum Thompson only had 4 points in the first half, so a big surge from her here in the second half, which is a big part of the reason why the Broncos are back ahead.
1 point lead for Boise State. 12th lead change in this one. Perry left it short, battles for the rebound and gets it. Outside to Cortez. She misses the three. Their offensive rebound for Adams, and a whistle and a foul called on Boise State. And I did not see who that number was. If it's Maya Hansen, it is Maya, and that is her third. But here's the offensive rebounding by Air Force, really causing Boise State problems.
Well, Air Force is just punishing Boise State for a couple lackadaisical habits. You know, on a possession, it doesn't matter if 3 box out, if 2 don't. It doesn't matter if 4 box out, if 1 doesn't. So again, rebounding is a team thing. I mean, somebody can register rebounds as an individual, but it's a team effort.
Hutton rebounds that miss by Jordan Devon, and the Broncos will look to add to their 1 point lead as we are approaching the halfway point here in this fourth quarter. And a foul called outside on Cortez, closely guarding Maya Hansen. And that is Cortez's fourth personal foul now. And
I think that was on McNabb, I believe.
Did they call McNabb?
Yes.
Okay. McNabb, my apologies. Now McNabb with 3. Pasco, runner in the lane, is scored.
Hit after the shot again. I mean, Natalie Pasco, very impressive. I feel like at least 3 of her made baskets, she's had contact in her after the shot goes up. So again, tough finish by her.
Broncos by 3 underneath. McNabb makes it a 1 point game.
That was a pretty pass by Devon, finding McNabb down there. He was lingering underneath the basket. I think the Broncos lost sight of her, which is unfortunate for them, but very, very nice pass by Devon.
McNabb now with 11, the third Falcon in double figures. And a foul. Now that'll be the 4th foul on Cortez, as she was a little too aggressive at the top. Or was that?
Yeah, that'd be Cortez.
That's Cortez. The ponytail blocks the number. Broncos up by 1. It's a nail biter here in Boise. In our pregame show tonight, we talked about how Tatum Thompson's all-around game has been necessary in the last 3 games. Tonight, Kim, the Broncos needed her to score. She's got 15 in the game, 11 here in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. Tatum's done a little bit of everything, especially in the second half. And I think the biggest thing that I'm impressed by is the sense of urgency that she's displaying. As a senior, this is your home floor. You only have, this is one of 3 precious home games you have left in your playing career. You really want to make sure you value those.
Hutton runs into McNabb and gets it to drop. Foul, count the basket for the Broncos on the foul by McNabb, and that will be her 4th personal foul now.
Coach McIntyre is upset with that. I think she wanted a travel call.
Let's see this one again. There's a little stutter step there.
She stuck her left foot. The stutter is on the right foot, but she'd already designated that left foot as her pivot foot. So I think she was okay on the travel. It just looked very odd.
And Hutton completes a 3-point play. She's now got 12. Cortez and McNabb with 4 fouls each. Under 4 minutes to go, and the Broncos have a 4-point lead off that 3-point play. Outscoring Air Force 12-6 here in the 4th quarter. Outside, it's McNabb. Gives it up to Devon. Perry outside with 7 on the shot clock. Launches a 3 and missed it. Thompson tips it to Pasco. Great play by Thompson to keep it alive to a teammate. Maya Hansen with the ball, and I think Maya being able to stay in the game in the second half settled things down a lot for Boise State. That one knocked out of bounds by Devon on the drive by Hansen. Boise State with 12 on the shot clock coming back.
If the Broncos are able to pull out this win, this will be the first win this season when trailing after the 3rd quarter. So again, you think about learning something in every basketball game and learning something about your team. Wow.
Hansen with the behind the head layup.
I think that's what we just learned about about Maya Hansen.
Yeah.
She's pretty good at those behind the head layups.
Broncos by 6 now. Outside, it's Cortez. Ball knocked free, and it's out of bounds to the Broncos.
Now, I know Coach McIntyre only has 3 precious timeouts right now, but if I were her, I would consider using one. You can just feel the momentum in this building definitely changes the way of the Broncos. Those timeouts can be so important in women's basketball because that does give you the ability to advance. But right now, her team's a little bit on their heels. Broncos are feeling themselves, and this crowd is helping them out.
Boise State now will try to eat some clock with 2:40 to go and a 6-point advantage. Danny Bays looking for Thompson, gets it to her on Perry, draws the double team, spins it out, and is called for the travel or the offensive foul. Called for the travel. Change the pivot feet.
You only get 1 pivot foot, unfortunately. Let's
watch this one again.
Rule.
There's the right foot's the pivot.
She was already hopping there.
And now the left foot's the pivot.
She might have been the hokey pokey and turned it all around on that one.
It was written here in Idaho, so why not? 6-point Boise State lead. Air Force Academy hasn't scored in over 2 minutes, and that ends right there as Perry takes charge and puts it in, and she will go to the line to try to have this lead.
You know, Perry is just a dynamic player to watch. That makes 18 for her. And how she extends with the ball. I mean, you see her attack, but then extend and still have the ball control to get a good finish. Very, very impressive.
Perry 2 for 2 from the line tonight. Missed that one. The rebound tipped in the corner. Hutton gets it, and they're going to award it to Boise State, as I believe McNabb was out of bounds when she touched the ball, and now the officials are going to review, and I don't know if this is
Coach McIntyre asking for an appeal on this one as well. I saw her signaling.
All right, Kenneth Nash with the twirl the finger in the air. It's not a home run, it's a review.
Yeah, the officials, anything under a minute, they can take a look at a timing issue, but we're still over the 2-minute mark, so that doesn't apply. I think McNabb tried to tap it through. Gosh, I don't know if they're going to be able to get that overturned. Whoa. Again, it has to be inconclusive.
Or conclusive.
Or conclusive, excuse me.
Well, Kimberly Hobbs was pretty adamant that was the call. We take a look at the upcoming schedules. Well, no, we don't. Yes, we're taking on San Jose State in San Jose. Threw me off with the scoring numbers as the Spartans off
Spartans
to a
are
tough...
playing Utah State today. This is Team 11 versus Team 12 in the conference. This should be a very interesting outcome.
And right now it's 4-3 Spartans early in the contest. Updating Colorado State now on top of Nevada comfortably, 69-52 with 2 minutes to go. And San Diego State, a 3-point lead over UNLV with about 4.5 minutes to go in the third. Here, a critical call in this game as Boise State was awarded possession. The Broncos leading now 4 points. And we take a look at the difference in this ball game, Kim. And really, the Broncos outscoring Air Force 34-26 in the half. But in the half, shooting 58% to 38% for the Falcons.
Pretty significant differences there. And again, we're going to see another look at this review. You can see McNabb's hand in there, and I don't think there's a second touch after that. I think it drops on the baseline. So I want to say that the official has the right call here after seeing that second time in that slow motion. Either way, this is, you know, a timeout that McIntyre was granted. If she is not awarded the appeal, if it's not granted in her favor, she still is able to get her team collected and hopefully regrouped for the last final 2 minutes. But Air Force has played one hell of a ball game. I mean, you have to really commend their effort on the boards, their intensity on defense. They're always exceptionally disciplined, not always the best shooting team in the conference, but they definitely have earned their position where they are right now in this game.
Boise State 0 for 5 this season when trailing after 3. They're trying to break that streak here tonight. Remember, they were down at the half. And now I think we have a ruling. Let's check what the verdict is. And I think it'll be Boise State's ball because they put 30 seconds on the shot clock. Well, actually, though, a missed free throw, yeah, so that doesn't indicate. And now we're going to get a ruling from the officials.
So the call on the floor is inconclusive, so the call on the floor remains. Okay? The review was inconclusive.
Okay,
Thank you. So it'll be Bronco ball.
So the video was inconclusive. They're going to stick with the call that Kimberly Hobbs made on the baseline, and Boise State will get the basketball with 2:19 to go, and that may prove to be a critical call here in this game with Boise State up by 4 and the Air Force full court pressure slapped on. They find Hutton, the safety valve, and now Maya Hansen as the Falcons pull off the full court press and pick up at half court.
Again, you're going to see a lot of doubling. This is the second or third time that Air Force has already doubled the basketball.
And it's almost stolen away by Perry, knocked out of bounds. As a defender, excuse me, Kim, you want to use the sideline as another defender, and the Broncos are playing right into that by keeping it on the sideline.
And offensively, you don't want to turn your back when both those defenders are coming at you. And you know, her teammates need to recognize that. Tatum got herself stuck in a bad position right there on the sideline. Oh, wow. And
now they're going to say they awarded the ball to Air Force, but I think it was poked away by the Falcons. And let's see if they change the call. Gordy Presnell is going to ask for a video review as that one popped out of the Broncos' hands and the official awarded it to the Air Force. Let's look at this one again.
Right there in front of it, and it looked like it was tapped from underneath. So unless there was a second touch on it.
Hansen tries to hand it. Oh, clearly
doesn't get close to that.
Yeah, clearly poked away by the Air Force Academy. And so I think this should be pretty conclusive, but I don't want to guess. I've been many a time, but these calls, the magnitude of these calls as the game is just a 4-point game with 2:01 to go.
It's tough too, because you know you want to get the call right, and I appreciate that, and I do appreciate the fact that coaches now have an ability to appeal a call that they thought was egregious. At the same time, boy, you know, you look at the people in the stands, and I feel like the last 2 minutes of this ball game has taken a considerable amount of time.
Air Force continues their road trip. They will play Saturday in Albuquerque in the pit against New Mexico. Both teams coming in today looking to improve their position in the Mountain West standings. You would think on paper the Lobos would be the prohibitive favorites, but you could have said that about tonight's game, and Air Force is giving Boise State all they can handle. Fresno State at 8-8, Grand Canyon at 8-7, and Air Force sniffing right behind them at 6-9. But they have to play at New Mexico, which, as you know, is never an easy road trip.
No, and New Mexico started out conference play really hot. I think they played a tough preseason. They were doing really, really well, and then they kind of hit this middle part of the season, and they've been struggling since. When they came in, we had that game mark, and they just, I don't know offensively if we were expecting how little output they had. I think scoring 35, 36 points in that game. So it's been very interesting to see their, erratic move through the conference in terms of their wins and losses. So, you'd like to say, if you look at stats, if you look at stats tonight, like you said, the Broncos are better on paper, but don't tell that to the Falcons.
Right.
And don't tell that to the Falcons when they go down and play in the pit.
Boise State with 2 home games remaining after this one. Next Wednesday night, they host the San Diego State Aztecs. And then February 28th, Utah State's Aggies come to town for Senior Day. We certainly would like to see you here at ExtraMile Arena, but if not, join us here on the Mountain West Network. They wrap up the regular season March 4th in Las Vegas against UNLV, and they'll stay in Sin City because the Mountain West Tournament starts March 7th through 10th in Las Vegas. And now we're going to get another ruling. Boise State's Gordy Presnell won the appeal. He will keep the timeout in his back pocket, and the Broncos will keep the ball with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Air Force is over the limit, so any foul will send Boise State to the free throw line. Broncos just 6 of 9 from the stripe tonight. Air Force 4 of 7. Bays to trigger, gets it into Maya Hansen. Broncos have to hurry a little bit, down to 7 on the shot clock as Hansen skids to a stop, gets it down low for Libby Hutton,
nice,
who catches it in traffic and scores, and the Broncos lead by 6. Tough catch.
Perfectly executed, though, by Maya Hansen, and really, again, nicely done by Libby Hutton. Libby just got a nice piece of the basketball on that one,
Perry's
too.
shot, and the Broncos with the ball and the rebound, and that one spins out of bounds. It'll be Boise State's ball, and this Air Force team is scrappy as Cortez goes to the floor, but as you look at this one again, Hansen gets into trouble, and it's kicked by Cortez. So Boise State, they'll set the clock at 25 and get it into Natalie Pasco.
Doubles coming.
And she gets it thrown right to Cortez. She panicked and threw it right to Cortez, and the Falcons have life down 6. O'Halloran's been quiet here in the second half. On the baseline, Pasco with the steal.
And again, this is where Maya Hansen is so valuable to the team. Just bringing her back in the second half, bringing a sense of calm when you have your steady senior point guard makes a significant difference.
Hansen in the corner, thought about the 3, gets it to Bays. 14 on the shot clock, under a minute to go. Thompson, and one opportunity. Tatum Thompson, a no-dribble turnaround jumper, and she will go to the line. She's got 17, maybe the nail in the coffin.
That's just what the doctor ordered right there. Again, really smart decision by Hansen to pass on a 3. Danny Bays had to look right after that. Again, smart decision using clock to their advantage. And so the Broncos just need to focus on playing good defense right now. Nothing silly. Making sure that they have ball security when they get the ball back.
Broncos by 9. Perry makes it a 7-point game with 47 seconds to go. And Coach Presnell takes the timeout to probably advance and avoid this full court press. And we will keep it right here as Perry now with 20 points. Her season high this year was 31 against Colorado State.
Perry and Danny Bays are the only 2 scorers in the Mountain West who have scored 31 points. They tied for the most points scored in a game.
Of course, Danny Bays was against UC Davis.
Correct. And I believe Perry was against Colorado State.
Yes. Yeah. Thompson with a great basket there. And in the second half, Tatum Thompson, 14 points on 5 of 7 from the shooting, 4 of 5 from the line, and she has played every minute here of the second half. And the Broncos will inbound, and that pass knocked free, but Hansen saves at midcourt, gets it to Hutton. The Broncos now just need to play keep away. Bays with 39 seconds, and she will go to the free throw line as the Broncos will shoot the rest of the way. Boise State, though, outscoring Air Force now 39-28 here in the second half. Danny Bays, just 6 points tonight, but those are a really tough 6 points. She also has 6 rebounds and 6 assists to go along with her 7th point, and now Stacey McIntyre will take the timeout. And we will watch both coaches set up strategy with the Broncos leading by 8. Looking for their first win this season when trailing after 3 quarters, and they were indeed down after 3 periods here tonight.
I don't know a lot of 8-point plays, but I will tell you right now, Coach McIntyre is looking for something quick. She wants something that's going to the hoop. Right now, you don't want to settle for a 3. You just got to get points on the board. So I would look to see them do that, attack quickly, hope that you can get a foul, maybe stop clock and shoot clock a little bit, or work clock in your favor. And then since Coach Presnell still has 2 timeouts, you can anticipate if Air Force scores, you're going to quickly see another timeout by Coach Presnell so he can get that across the half-court line. Again, as a high school coach, I was always so envious that you could advance. I think that's one thing that the high school game is missing tremendously. So Coach Presnell is one of the best in the business in saving some of those timeouts and using them appropriately in this way.
Boise State has out-rebounded Air Force in the second half, 19-10. And they're even on the offensive glass. So it's been a completely different second half.
Well, and that's what it was going to take, right, for the Broncos to get back in that game. I mean, that was a really, really bad deficit that they had at halftime in terms of rebounding and some of those turnovers.
They're going to call the foul on Bays as Adams plows through Danny. And Bays with her 4th personal foul, and just another bruise off the ExtraMile Arena hardwood.
I think Danny was set, and that's not that same shot. But
No,
I think Danny
Perry.
was set, but I think when she dropped her hands down, that's when she's going to get caught for the foul there.
Adams hits the first. Adams tonight with 13 points. Rattles the second one in.
Cue the timeout by Coach Presnell.
Cue the timeout in the advance. So these final 35.6 seconds will take 10 minutes. As
It's a school night, Mark.
Yeah. Each team now, Boise State with 4 team fouls. So the next foul will be the bonus. And I don't know that that's necessarily a factor here with 35.6 seconds to go, but this is a real gut check win for Boise State if they hold on.
It is, and I think you can learn something about your team in every game, wins, losses, but these close games, and especially games where you have to fight some adversity, maybe that's the physicality that Air Force brought, maybe it's the fact that they're out rebounding you, making those in-game adjustments really are going to be beneficial tips for the Broncos to learn moving forward.
Danny Bays will trigger with the win. If Boise State holds on, they will improve to 21-6 and 12-4 in conference play as Pasco is double-teamed and fouled. O'Halloran and Cortez both there. They get O'Halloran with the foul, and that will be her
that Air
third.
Force wanted to foul on that. I think they had a pretty decent trap. Again, Natalie kind of caught it and brought it down, which is playing into the hands of the defense.
Pasco with 19, make it 20. She had 24, her season high in the win at Air Force was 9 of 11 from the field tonight, 7 of 12, including 4 of 6 from three-point range. Pasco hits them both to give her 21 points. Broncos with Pasco with 21, Thompson 18, Hutton 14. Leading scorers for Air Force, Perry with 20, McNabb 11, Adams 14. Each team with 3 players in double figures, but with 33.7 seconds to go. Again, dialing up that 8-point play that probably doesn't exist since James Naismith nailed up the beach baskets.
You know, and the Broncos might come out ahead on this one, but I cannot say enough good things about the game plan and the attack by Air Force. These ladies have played hard today, and it was a wonderful thing to watch a couple of them getting after the physicality early and really causing a lot of problems for the Broncos. This is going to be game film that I think some of the opponents facing the Broncos are going to like watching.
Rebound by Adams, and that one almost goes on another offensive rebound. Broncos outscoring Air Force 42-30 now in the second half, after Air Force really took the life out of the Broncos and the building in that first half.
And this is a foul. I mean, credit to Perry for showing that extra effort. But you know, you don't foul in that situation. Just get a good box out. We don't even have to worry about somebody else getting the ball in that situation. But Perry, she's doing great. I mean, again, she averages 7.6 points a game. I mentioned the last 8 games she's averaged over 12. And today, I mean, she's up to, I mean, sorry, Adams. She's 15. Up to 15. Apologies.
Yeah, doubled her scoring. And this parade to the benches and the timeouts.
It's what we do.
Well, we'll take a timeout. The final 27 seconds come your way after we take this timeout from ExtraMile Arena.
What would you do?
Maya Hansen fouled up top by Milani Perry. Perry, the senior from Tampa, with her 3rd personal foul, and that'll send Maya Hansen to the free throw line. Maya this season an 80% free throw shooter. Had 15 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists in the win at Air Force. Much different numbers tonight. 3 assists, and now just her 3rd point, but she was besieged with foul trouble early in the contest, and that really, you know, we talked about it, Kim. When she was able to stay on the floor, she really settled things down for Boise State and enabled them to outscore Air Force here in the second half. Quick catch by O'Halloran, doesn't get it. The rebound tipped. Somehow Hansen comes out of the pack with it. Blocked shot by Thompson. Boise State with the ball, and they can run out the final 10 seconds. Natalie Pascoe will just dribble it out, and Boise State improves on the season now to 21-6, 12-4 in conference play, and 14-1 here at ExtraMile Arena with a hard-fought 70-62 win over the Air Force Academy Falcons, as Boise State temporarily, depending on what happens with UNLV, moves just a half game behind the Rebels, who are currently trailing San Diego State in San Diego 60-51. We'll chat with a couple players from Boise State after we take this timeout. The Broncos win by 8 on the home floor. Boise State with a 70-62 win against Air Force in a very hard-fought physical battle. We're joined by Tatum Thompson, 18 points, 5 rebounds, but 14 of those points Tatum in the second half. What was the difference between the first half tonight and the second half?
Well, they're a very aggressive team, so they came out hard, and I think it kind of took a little bit of wind out of them, and we took advantage of that in the second half, and we were able to close it out. So, yeah.
Tatum, in the first quarter, you didn't even take a shot. I don't know if you know that. And only 4 points at half. But the sense of urgency, the senior sense of urgency, talk about what that third and fourth quarter was like as far as you pouring in some buckets.
Yeah, well, I felt like they were guarding me pretty high up, and so I just kind of wanted to let our players do their thing and take advantage of the extra space. And then, again, I think they got tired because they're so aggressive and they're good at it. And then I guess I got a couple shots.
A couple. Yeah, you got a couple.
In the first half, Air Force was dominating the boards. They wound up only beating you by 1 off the glass. What was the message from the coaching staff at halftime about rebounding?
It was definitely rebound.
They mentioned that in there?
Yeah. We only had we had 0 offensive rebounds at halftime, and then we were able to lock it in and get a few more rebounds.
Is that a physical thing or is that an attitude thing to get to rebound like that?
I would say both, because you need to be physical. It's just a part of the game, and then you also got to have that aggressive mindset that I want to get every ball and not give it back to them.
And speaking of runs, you guys made a terrific one. I think everybody in this building lit up. You as a senior, we have 2 more home games. What does it feel like to get to have that run, have this win for the team, and then hopefully have 2 more coming up next week?
Yeah, it's super fun. I try to just stay in the moment and just appreciate, each day, each little practice, each game. And so I think I'm just grateful that we get 2 more and this isn't the last one. And I don't feel any sad emotions right now, but we'll see on senior night.
I don't know if you're aware of this. This is the first time all season that Boise State has won a game when you've trailed after 3 quarters. You guys dug deep in that 4th quarter. I have to think Maya Hansen's ability to stay on the floor helped settle things down.
Yeah, and I think the 4 years the seniors have been here, we've been down and we haven't been able to come back. And I think collectively, we're able to bring each other up and do what we've been wanting to do in the 4 years we've been here. If we're down, we want to come back, and I feel like we've shown that growth this season.
Well, Tatum Thompson, 18 points, helping the Boise State Broncos win their 21st game of the season. Congratulations, and next one up, San Jose State on the road. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Tatum Thompson joining us here courtside after Boise State with the 70-62 win against the Falcons of the Air Force Academy in a very physical game, and somebody who can attest to the physicality today of this game, Libby Hutton, joins us now. And your eyes got wide when I said physical. What was it like battling this Air Force team?
Yeah, it was really tough today. I feel like sometimes with physicality we have a bit relaxed starts, which I think we need to make sure that we continue to match physicality from the start of games. I think that's definitely something that's totally improvable, though. I feel like that's something we could definitely work on. But yeah, I was just really glad we came out in that second half a bit tougher, a bit more mentally locked in, and yeah, got away with the win today.
Libby, you've been one of the most impressive players in terms of growth this year. And I think one of the biggest things that I've seen out of you is more patience when you have the basketball, and also in a more of an attack philosophy. That's come up huge. How has that felt to embody that role as you've moved through the season?
Yeah, I would say it's actually a bit stressful. But I think that, surrounding myself with my teammates and my coaches and stuff this year, it's been really easy to just sort of understand that I am capable of more and my ceiling is still very high, and I need to sort of step into that bigger role, be able to do more for the team. I think that Wyoming game was definitely a big stepping stone for me. I think it helped me a lot with my confidence. So I think today, being able to be patient against a physical team like Air Force, I think that really helped with being able to get some of those late buckets.
We talked with Tatum about this, and certainly at halftime, Air Force was dominating on the glass. It wound up being just a 1 difference margin. Where did you see your role in bringing that number back and helping Boise State on the glass?
Yeah, I think I will take some accountability for lack of boxing out today. I think it definitely wasn't my strongest today. I need to do better in that. But I think just being able to continue fighting and get those loose rebounds, I think that's a really important part. And I think that's something that I can help out with. I just think I need to be a bit more consistent with that, yeah.
And you're heading down to California, so we have San Jose on the road.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that matchup?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've never been to San Jose. We didn't go there last year, so I'm actually pretty excited to go down there. It'll be a good matchup. Good to see our improvement from our last game against them, and just what we can work on in the next couple of days before we play them.
Well, Libby Hutton, 14 points, 5 rebounds, and a big reason why Boise State improves now to 21-6 overall. and temporarily just a half game behind UNLV in the conference standings. Congratulations, good game, and we will see you here after your San Jose State trip.
Thank you. Hi, Granddad.
A shout out to Grandpa watching in somewhere in Australia, I guess.
Yes.
So, Libby Hutton, as you look at the final numbers, Broncos wind up shooting 50% from the field. And a number that we haven't really talked about, Kim, when you look at this, Boise State, 18 assists on 26 shots. Not a bad number, especially when you're facing a press like Air Force's.
That's exactly right. And, the turnover is 15. I think that's a little bit high. The Broncos want to do better than that. I think what I'm most impressed with is what you just brought up in those post-game interviews and how they made up some of the rebounding margin. Air Force is tough. They are tough in so many ways, and rebounding is probably the biggest way that was hurting the Broncos, that and the pressure, of course. So for the Broncos to finish this game just down 1 on rebounds, that's very, very significant, and that's something they can learn from. I mean, the fact they were able to make those changes at halftime is huge, and again, in-game adjustments, and the quicker that players can realize that, then the better they will be in the long run.
Boise State 6 of 13 from three-point range, and that long shot certainly also helped them tonight as they got three-pointers from Danny Bays hit a couple, Natalie Pasco 4 big ones, and those were the three-point shots. So Boise State, as I mentioned, 21-6, 12-4 in conference play, and 14-1 on the home floor. A good crowd tonight, 1,835 on hand at ExtraMile Arena as the Broncos prevail in a tough battle against the Air Force Academy Falcons. Next up, we talked about it, Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock Mountain Time here on the Mountain West Network against the Spartans of San Jose State. For our entire production crew and my broadcast partner, Kim Bridges, I am Mark Snyder. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. Broncos win by 8.